Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. I know, sir. Are you interested in a new and exciting book? It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl.
Board games are like little games on a table, made to pass the time. There are several different ones, but sailors here mostly buy cards. That is a book. They have stories inside them. My pleasure. Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any question. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the... Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store. I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful.
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette.
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go... I wouldn't really say it like that, but I guess so. They shouldn't be, but they seem real. Anyhow, they say that these grounds are doomed for businesses. Of course, sir. Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that. And the work of a policeman. And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch him. You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. What's that mean? And everything's better now, sir? That's great, sir. More about books, maybe? It's the type of book, or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process, or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property. Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end. These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting. That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life. Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and I haven't read many of those. Maybe I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though.
You can take this. Blossom like a pain flower. The girl is at a loss for words. She shifts and sways on her feet. Look at...
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how to help you. Sir, sorry.
It's time to leave it be. You're about to make a child cry. Are you proud of yourself? Excuse me?
I'm sorry, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame. I don't know about that, but
They're all dogs. Annette's expression remains ever so helpful, but she doesn't say anything.
Isn't that kind of a childish thing for a grown-up to say? You look all wrinkly and hairy.
You also feel old, tired, hardly able to catch your breath, your joints aching constantly.
Hairy, sir. I said hairy.
Wow, you work hard. Oh, yes, you hustle. You're a provider. Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have... That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh, and that's just what it's like. Life and death. But it ain't easy. But you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop, and a sprinter, and a... Sure. And has it been easy? Are you rich? That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that? That's right. 100%. Fucking G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze. Every time you wipe your ass. They got their direct and their indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, alimony, one tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus there's the stuff people in other countries pay for. That makes them ask for more money from you. Here. Total tax duties add up to 98% of all your money. Here you go, hustler. Fight the righteous fight. Free the people. Keep it real.
Yes? What do you want to know? Maybe you can tell me what you... Then you are not that far behind. 3 days ago, the RCM emergencies desk received a rep. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him. A security guard or worker of some sort, hired by Wild Pines. They didn't identify... There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's... That's us. The Revachol Citizens Militia. That's right. You mean like a brief? 3 days ago, during that time, the victim had been... Okay then. Was there anything else you wanted to know? I'm afraid you and I are... You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. That's good. Better still than an imbecilic couple. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't... Later. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? No. It's not a particularly The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that. I can assure nothing like that will happen. Do you know why not? Because it's not part of...
The gesture resembles an orchestra conductor. There's something the lieutenant isn't seeing. The universe is too erect.
No. It's not a part. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put... Then you are in luck, because we are in the midst of... I expect the case itself to be less challenging than navigating these community matters. No, it's not a particularly... The deceased is a security guard for... There was some interest in this case at my state.
Cut this boring stuff off immediately. You know what this case is about.
Yes, it just so happens there's a beautiful, blonde 19-year-old woman at the heart of this case. A rich one, in fact. Part of a murder sex... No, Not really.
He's basically challenging you to sex it up with them.
No, it's not a party. The deceased is a security guard for... There was some...
Cut this boring stuff off immediately. You know what...
Good point. Martinez... Actually, it does have to be...
He's basically challenging...
Good.
Only banal things strike one you should... No response. He just arches his brow.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs? Fine. We should get through this day first. Of our... Really? You look... This psychodrama is unbecoming of an officer. Then you should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in...
Volumetric ship compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimal. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? It will take just a moment.
Her voice is...
Gottlieb.
He's carelessly chewing on a piece of hard candy.
Oh, it's you. Firewalker? Oh, yes, you are. Just do exactly that. Put yourself out of your misery. Take a deep, diaphragmatic breath in and... I'm the most serious person at the station, detective. Now, do you have any current, pressing medical problems? With all the damage you've been dealing yourself with drugs and alcohol, what else? I'm not a brain doctor. Look on the bright side. You've got a whole new life now. And you survived it.
Sort of, but by...
Even better. Anything else? What? You want me to do blood work for you again? Tell you just how bad things really are across the board? You want another rundown of everything collapsing? You want the real, honest-to-God truth? Stop drinking, eat magnesium and vitamin D. Our station is not a retirement home.
So it's political. You're being neglected because of political reasons. The money is probably going to some old, oily...
And no, I don't want to hear a political commentary on the topic. In fact, I got work to do. Some idiot has glued his eyelids shut with cyanoacrylate.
It's not fucking cryoacrylate. It's super glue, Doc.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? Right.
10-4, come in. Fire.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through. You're going to be looking at...
10-4, sir, I'm not hearing your question. 10-4.
Does he actually want something, or is he helping?
He asked if he ever told me about his days before.
For God's sake, cut this shit out! Tell him to stop wasting time and be a goddamn policeman for a change.
Sir, Satellite Officer Vic Mars. So, was there anything else? 10-9, repeat message. I didn't get that.
What? What is it? What can he possibly still want from us?
He seems intoxicated and keeps asking me to call him by his name.
Mullen's drunk and emotionally aggressive.
Wrap it up. Don't indulge in his drunken antics. What? What is it?
He wants to verify him.
But of course, it says Dick Mullen, High General of the Revacholian Cavalry Force.
Tell him to stop wasting time.
What do you need, sir? Over. Understood, sir. Roger that. 10-10, over and out.
Yes? Excuse me? You have a... I hope you don't take this. They say it's a scene clearing...
Yes, but
I don't know. Containers contain, I guess.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance. Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space. I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture. Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy. Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me. Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. Mind your own business, sir. In our society, people don't get to tell each other how to raise their children. It's none of your...
The woman before you scans the store. Her shoulders. You see a set of tattered...
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only. Nothing. Why aren't you browsing the books?
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they... You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fishhead charm at this time. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains...
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the parapsychologically speaking. We're done if you decide to open them. I won't...
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains. You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I am sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't...
The curtains do seem frail suddenly, not robust enough to contain a slippery darkness.
No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here.
Lies. Rip them open. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you. Some kind of superstar. They say the world isn't ready for a rock and roll cop. No one wants their state monopoly on violence to be mixed with celebrity worship. They claim to know it would be dangerous for detectives to rise to the ranks of demigods and have sexual encounters with barely legal cover girls. It would be insane, they say. To all this, you say, "Fuck off and die," in a cool voice. You people have no idea how good these cops are gonna get. They're gonna crack 20 cases a day. In the future, cops will be like astrophysicists, or prime ministers, or prophets. And you're the first one.
Hello again, esteemed officer. I already told you. It's just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the... No! Okay, fine. Are you happy now, officer? Happy?
Host of hosts, she prays. Guard me and my honest business venture.
The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy. It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the cacodemons feeding off bad bits. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away.
Time to fire up the old lie.
No.
The lieutenant looks at you. You've got this. Just go with it. This is elegant.
You're called... what?
He turns away, not before you can see a small...
Sir, I really don't have time for your jokes. The situation is very serious. Okay, but please, only a few questions. Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists, and even the wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that... Oh, this? No, it's a special... There are numerous spells cast throughout the store.
The woman before you scans the curtains, tattered with age and covered in... You see a dimly lit room.
I warned you!
A heavy door with a missing handle stands. What if you just break it down? Only an echo. A hollowed out, dark. That's right. Take in your surroundings. You need to have a solid ground. The room is dimly lit and littered with old. It's made of a solid block of wood, but it has stood there for ages. The hinges are old and coated with. That's right. Steady breathing. Solid core. The room is dimly. It's made of a solid block of wood, but it has stood there for ages. The hinges are old and coated with a carmine layer of rust. It should be doable. Ow. Shoot. Whose moronic idea was it to just run through the door? Don't you know that things like that hurt?
Are you alright?
What is going on there? I warn you, don't tempt the spirits, officer.
It barely looks like you've done any damage to the door, however. It's still locked and closed.
Real much.
Damn, your feet thought we got away.
What are you, brain damaged? Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room, or 8 bottles of potent blend, and 9... Are you serious? From your work? I don't know. You can take bribes, I guess.
Some do take recompense, but only to survive.
There's a shuffle of nylon as Lieutenant gets her up.
You know what? The stupid drinks you've had are on the house. You know why? Because I know you can't... Now, I still have to charge you for 3 nights and the broken window. That's 100 square. Fine, I'll take it off the bill. Sleep in a post-apocalyptic hellhole if you want to. Not entirely cool. Now, what the hell did you want? I assume you wanted something to come back here. God.
Oh, but he should be. Lay it on him.
Wonderful.
It is. It's wonderful.
What? What does that mean? Cock carousel. Does it mean you talked to her? What else did she say about me?
What else do you need? He looks at you, spinning your arms, then leans on the corner and sighs. His head drops between the shoulders, heavy and defeated.
She broke the bird, you know. The great skewer. I found it on the ground with the broken... I should have known. It was her way of telling me to piss off. I should stuff it up my arse.
Yes, the bird is connected to this. It's a symbol of hope, and she broke it.
Huh. Cock carousel. I think I understand now. That's what they ride until, like, 39. They ride the cock carousel until the clock runs out. Here, have the rest. Now, let me have a drink and think about this shit for a moment.
And there we have it. Isn't that beautiful? Another situation fixed by Dr. Love. By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank. But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Why did you say that? The old thesaurus comes up empty. Maybe you should ask the lieutenant.
No. A saying.
That doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you entertain the thought when...
Can I help you? Yes, have you got it? For the room, 60 real. Like what? I was rarely enjoying What thing? Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction. They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're...
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Lord, we don't. We have to wait. They'll...
You glance at the clock on the wall behind the manager.
Good question.
They're probably getting drunk or protesting something somewhere. Or they probably fucking killed that guy or something, and that's...
I have a feeling we'll make their acquaintance sooner.
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Another thing. Great. Yes? Absolutely out.
Absolutely in the question. A thin man is smoked. As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Garancy and Kubek. It must be his name. Garancy. Garancy Kubek. Sounds representative. The man puts his cup down and replies something. His left hand, he smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his... You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple. The door does not budge. The cobalt blue surface, old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. 40.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? Yes. I suppose it's worth seeing if we can get in. Just to be thorough. As if you say so, Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious. No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's all some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's at...
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place up. Yes?
There, as you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the your muscles tense up. The man before you is naked, but
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
the material appears to be ceramic. It's delicate and fragile. They feel
Their armor, no boots. Ceramic plate, zirconium dioxide, under the heel. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing piece by piece. We should keep a lookout for these pieces. The armor could
If you wear those pieces, it will help me protect your mortal coil.
No, he must have worn something precious underneath his clothes. They've removed all his clothes to get to it. They did not just strip him for the putrid rags. They usually hang them completely naked for that.
Fucking talking about underpants.
Looks like he worked for a private contractor. Like it is. It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabulary, for a full set, about 4 years of wages. By catching, do you mean let's not log them as evidence? Let's steal them? Mm-hmm. It means disciplinary.
The lieutenant nods often. It's part of his unplastic expression range. A small bell light. The pry bar in your hand is itching for some action.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistribution.
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller. The stench fills your nostrils.
Stop! Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
You're going to pull his head off.
Do it, homo!
Stop obsessing about your sexuality, officer. What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot? Maybe we should concentrate on what's outside the boot. There's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flown.
You're sure there's a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down. And second, it would probably... The anticipation makes you crack your finger.
Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue...
The cadaver slowly twists. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Oh my, there's something on the belt. A familiar word, vermilion, in yellow letters, along the length of the twisting cargo belt. Only a deep longing for the...
Extremely. Industrial strength. The kind used for tying cargo to lorries. Yes, it looks like they use whatever was on hand, paying no attention to not incriminating themselves. A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt, buckle closes. It's what I would do. Seems easier than climbing out there. I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes. Motivated by the ongoing strike. You? 70% of the cases I get are just filling in the... It's not merely polyester. It's steel reinforced. See these lines? This is where the wires run. This makes getting him down much more problematic than...
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect.
Of no nation that I know of. If anything, it reminds me of religious illumination.
The pattern does not stir patriotic or religious sentiment in you. What it does is speak to the wounded, limping animal.
So...
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sound.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera. I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy...
In case we need it. Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
There is only one ampoule left.
It contains insight to the victim's person. This was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was sure. Just don't lose it.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute, and his eyes are milky white. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode. From the organic...
I'm gone. Into the wild pale in the past. Way out. I'm a joke. Look at me. A killer.
Takes one to know one.
Go ahead, Kobo. What do you mean? It's the power of your imagination. Go ahead. Ask me more questions. Do I remind you of someone? No, not quite. Be fair. You sure wrinkled out of that one, Coppolini. Come back later, Coppo.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs, and only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his...
How should I know why you are squinting, officer? Oh.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marble.
So, what do you think?
I think he's dead and about to explode.
There's a strong buildup of gases, yes. Rigor mortis becoming livor mortis. He'll be fully limp by tomorrow. I don't think he'll explode. I hope not. I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them.
Stop talking in riddle.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen...
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a...
The fuck are you saying?
Talking about shit.
Malicious laughter erupts. The lieutenant's face is made of stone.
I agree. Totally dead. He is. I think he was upright immediately after death. Blood has gathered. The noose acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis here is in tune with the hanging. That's what I think. Yes, there's always a chance we are wrong. We should check.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air.
Of course. Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you... Coming right up, copperoonie. This is getting upbeat now. Love did me in, brother. Because you have... Fuck no. You're no Rooney. Listen to yourself. You're not a Raphael anything. You're probably just a Harry or something. That's right. Good for you. Sure, Lobo. Looking at my face. Motionless. Looking into my eye. Ha!
Something is on its way. Something hidden. It's coming.
Come back later.
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique... The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one...
An acrobatic maneuver would solve this situation. Nothing can go wrong with a good maneuver.
I have thought of that, yes. But the tire tracks would compromise the seat. Also, my MC has a sloped roof. It's a sports model. The roof is slippery. And all around... How about I take you, piggyback?
The fuck are these pigs talking about?
Oh, they're bank or something. Oh, it's fucking boring, Kuno. Wish they'd fuck already.
Pig? Why you gotta disrespect...
Fuck that banana poika in the ass, Kuno.
I wasn't actually implying I would. I meant...
It's a fucking hilarious idea! You two puskapas get on top of each other and fuck!
In silence, the lieutenant gives you a meaningful glance, as if to say, case in point.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig!
How? It absolutely will not, officer.
Yeah, now we're talking.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss, Kuno!
What else can we do?
Indirect modes of taxation. Turns out, those Financial Oversight Committee gangsters stuffed millions of hard-earned dividends away in the last place anyone thought to look. The hearts and minds of everyday Riversholians. You need to spread that deregulation gospel to the people.
What's that noise down there?
Tell them about that foreign fare tax. Preach that 98% gross burden. Preach it, preacher man. Set the brothers free. Taxes are racist. The man before you.
Yes, we do.
He breathes.
Oh yeah, do this shit! Fuck it!
The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He appears too deep in concentration to even notice what you said. Silence. And produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it in place. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts.
God damn it.
A lot of things were wrong with that shot. The fellow's desk was the wrong choice. His shoulders were red.
Fucking idiot! Mookaba asshole!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't... Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position. I have to say, it's beginning to look
You know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
It's bad as it is. Us shooting firearms like punks. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you.
They only have one gun!
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Yeah, take it, you fucking fucking banana poika. Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth.
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your fingers fit right through the guard, instinctively resting on the...
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth.
Kuno is silent. Aggression gathers in the air. The trigger feels... The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss. Do it! Set me free!
Don't.
Do it! Put it right here, Mulka! Right here!
You hear an explosion within the weapon in your hand. The branches of the pine tree behind the girl shake ever so lightly. Your ears are still ringing. A plume of smoke has erupted from the barrel. The little monstrosity stands in the cloud.
You fucking learn to shoot!
Whoa, see? Pig tried to shoot you.
Yes, Kuno, I can see that!
You sense nylon moving somewhere to your left. There's motion in your peripherals. The gun has left your hand, still numb from the recoil.
I think you're underestimating the gravity of this situation, officer. We need to take a breather from this. I suggest we go to the harbor and ask the leader of the Union to help us.
The man before you is naked.
Yes, we do.
He breathes.
Oh yeah, do this shit! Fuck it up!
The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He appears too deep in concentration to even notice what you said. Silence. And produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it in place. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The chick's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off.
God damn it.
A lot of things were wrong with that shot.
Fucking it!
Kuno could have hit it easy.
No, any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position. I have to say, it's...
You know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
It's bad as it is. Go ahead. I'm not...
This is the sorriest...
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana poika! Take...
The buckle comes into focus in your sight.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
Your field of view narrows. The branch...
Look, he's crying! You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty?
The buckle explodes into tiny pieces, coming loose with a whir. With your hand numb from the recoil, you look at the body slump down. For a moment, the man appears to kneel in front of you, looking straight at you, helpless, trapped with
communism.
It takes a millisecond for the association to flash within your cortex. You have no idea where it's coming from. Then, the rigor in his muscles gives up. and he smashes sideways into the spring mud, letting out a horrid stench.
Fuck you, Corpale!
Ace is high.
The lieutenant takes a little hop to perform the customary salutation. Your palm hurts from the slap. It's precise and down to the point.
I knew these guys were f***ed.
We will perform a field autopsy and determine the cause of death. But before... Excuse me.
Slumped on the ground like that has not improved the way the corpse smells.
It looks like I feel like taking a break from the stench. I'm sorry to interrupt the jubilations here. Just a little breather before we do the... Yes, the 4 phases of a murder scene. 1, I can't say I'm satisfied with that part yet. We should search for prints, maybe. And 2, initial examination of the victim. We were pretty good in our efforts, and the autopsy will provide another chance. 3, field autopsy. This will not be pleasant.
The fuck are they on about?
Cops are gonna cut his shit up next.
4 and final, transport of the coroner's case to the district morgue. No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain. Your station would not have assigned you the case otherwise. This case is important. In the meantime, we should locate the representative of the logistics company. My preliminary information suggests the Wild Pines have sent a strike negotiator to... I bet she has a fresh perspective to offer us. Since we've already talked to Everhart in the harbor, that interview is done, for better or for worse. Yes, and the
rotting man lies on his side. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Shoot, Looney Rooney! Huh? You're misquoting me, Rooney. I said communism killed me. Love did me in. Come back later, Coppo.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them. Unfortunately, no. They are better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things. In your paperwork, officer, just fill out the field autopsy form.
Now they only have one paperwork too.
Officer, what haven't you lost? I've noticed that, yes, and I must say I find it troubling. I can give you my paperwork. There's an autopsy form there. Several, actually, but only if it helps move things along. Right. The autopsy form is near the end.
You find a moment as the lieutenant. Still, you can make out a case with a curious title. The Man with the Hole in His Head. This appears to be a case investigated about 3 weeks ago. A workplace accident. The titular character's wife tries to get compensation. The company was not forthcoming. It's hard to make out. It's very hard to draw conclusions. All you can make out is that he is in a hurry to solve the case. The tempo of the handwriting says odd. There doesn't seem to be much about you in his notes, as if...
What?
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with...
That's you.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings. Just
KK57. Next. NA. Next. NA. Roughly 50.
The corpse looks ageless, like meat on a hook.
Mondial.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor...
Fucky!
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant...
We're still going with March 4th. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner.
KK57 0503.
None. At least not after the initial examination. Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
A silent nod. The lieutenant places... Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from... Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row. Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette bull-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. The building is tall, 7 stories wind-wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartments are unoccupied. This was a suicide, and so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath.
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries...
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodin, I think. Let's see.
See, it's happening.
Babrodin, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a national pattern. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The deceased has a cargo lashing belt around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow, well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters, generally consistent with age, about 50. Preservation is good. And body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short. Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head.
Fucking low velocity. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. We need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below.
See? My pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there. Steady now, like a flower. After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck.
The rope rises to a point. leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is gentlest, pulling up.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia...
No! Let's get out and see!
I fucking knew it!
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging un... You should touch it.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand.
Bullets have bitten little pieces out of him. It must have been excruciating, especially the hip.
In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin. We have a real museum here. Last item, hands. Hands are clean. No sign of a recent struggle. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this Ooh. That's all for the extra... Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nerve?
You don't even have a joke.
Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his... You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh.
Yeah, Jack, that fuck!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth...
No scream. No sigh of relief rises from the darkness. No, you don't. You can keep it in. You manage to suppress the contractions trying to end.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus. Hepatobiliary, NA. Are you a hepatobiliary expert? Same for toxicology and serology, NA. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Gastrointestinal. Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 feels.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted. And your opinion, officer? Agreed. Next injury? So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response.
At maximum velocity!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum...
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man.
Right. Next, a dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves mud. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. Now we put him in a body bag, and I drive him to Forborg for processing.
The lieutenant looks at the dead man one more time, then at his notebook, then at the corpse again. You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough. The genitals in his breeches continue to be unnoteworthy. You see...
Can't get enough.
Do you think we missed something? Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrated. It would have to be industrial in size. Let's start by asking Gart at the Whirling in Rags and the Fritz store down at the gates. If they don't know...
Fuck are you looking at, Beano man? You wanna...
Only if all else fails. Hurry. This is one task we cannot sideline. With every hour, whatever we are looking for will become harder to find. If you think so, officer, I need a little help for carrying him to the holding pen of my kinema. I'll take it from there.
There go those beautiful enamel boots. Oh well, in another lifetime.
It's too late to take him into processing today. I'll take him first thing tomorrow. Yes?
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it... Oh, excuse me. Do you have something better to do than lust for sweet syrup? The worker is in a deep slumber. There is only one way to awake this bone idol from his slumber.
Why the yelling man? Congratulations. You've seen the future. Now, if you excuse me again, officer. Yeah, what about it? You know, people die here every day. If someone has decided to die on top of a tree, then how is it? If you get lucky, I might even have answers for it. That's the name of my employer. How's it going? Haven't you noticed what's going on outside? Good. We're in the middle of a strike down. For one, I get you. They got it. Measurehead's got it.
The way he says Measurehead implies ultimate trust in this head reckoner's physical prowess.
We are the workers, the union. Okay, I guess there's also Everard. He's it. Indeed. Help yourself to some. Wait, thank God, no.
The worker stares at you.
I don't know what you're talking about, kind sir.
The dock worker doesn't answer.
Hello again, sweetie.